Hiya peeps, it's CyanRose here, and welcome back to the playground. I have a ton of stuff I want to get done today, and I'm super excited. It's alright, we're going to get going. So, first off, as always, the stuff that's changed, I've got some stuff here, but the biggest thing here is the farm, which we'll get to in a second. I'm going to tease you guys with that. So right here, I got this little section here. I'm not sure if the path right here was here last time when I recorded, but now it is. And what I've got going on here is just a crafting table and some chests, and this is where I want to do, when I have stuff I specifically want to craft in an episode, then I'm going to put it in that chest there, kind of like you would see in a mod spotlight, and then I'll be crafting it right here. So yeah, that's going to be a cool thing. And then over here, we've got the farm, and see what we can do. Alright. Oh, and as you can see over there, that's where my oven is and where my cauldron is. And yeah. So right now I've got a beautiful assortment of plants in here, most of which are very magical. I'm going to start off right over here with carrots. Obviously, carrots are very magical. You use them in vanilla Minecraft brewing. I mean, I don't know. Sure, they're magical. Whatever. Mandrakes, obviously, very magical. Part of the witchery mod. Water artichokes, again, from the witchery mod. Garlic, very important. Over here we have wolfsbane. You can see all sorts of different levels of growth right now. I've got snowbells over here, which I think are really cool. Belladonna. Some wheat, because, you know, you never know when you need wheat for things. Bread and whatnot is very important. I've got cactus for dyes and cactus green in general. Also, I think you need it to craft some things in witchery, I'm not sure what. Sugarcane obviously is needed for books. And paper, all super important. I've got some pumpkins, because I mean pumpkins are classic witchy. Right. And yeah. I've got a chest over there full of stuff. Basically just the part. And of course the most magical crop of them all, potatoes. Very magical. And then cotton isn't really magical, but I need it for string. You know. Yes, potatoes are so magical. So yeah, I have in here I've got some more chests in here. I've got all this lava filled up right here. I've smelted a lot of this stuff, obviously. There's still some things I need to smelt. I've got some extra lava. I should organize this. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, I've got my berry bushes planted down there, so now they're not taking up space in a chest in my beginning hut, which is over that way. I think there's actually something in here right now. If it'll let me... I don't think it's going to let me fly. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I do believe... Oh, yes, that's ferrous or molten nickel or something like that. Whatever that is. Anyway. So yeah, that's most of the stuff that's been new here. And so I'm going to go over here and show off the first thing I want to make today, which is another book, because witchcraft is full of books, which is fine because I really like books. So for this, I need a piece of dirt, a book, a feather for a quill, an ink sac for the ink. I don't know where dirt comes into this. But we're going to craft this right here. And bam. Bam. Ba-bam. Witch's Brews, the definitive guide to cauldrons and potion brewing. In other words, what you need if you want to go to potions class, Hogwarts. So yeah, this is a really neat book. It's blue. So let's take a quick look at what it looks like inside. Ooh, yeah, so this is the one full of links, so it's like introduction. Light a fire, but yeah. And it's got all this neat stuff. So yeah, that's a really interesting book. I'm going to have to go through that properly off camera because it's a really big book, but I think that's going to be super useful. And speaking of brewing, something you might have noticed I got lined up in my inventory right here is a water bucket, an egg, exhale of the horned one, which I got by using my oven to burn oak saplings for wood ash, and that's a possible secondary item you can get for making that, and some mandrake root, which looks like a little running man. I had a really strong urge to sing Bohemian Rhapsody just then, and I don't know why. So anyway, in here I've got my cauldron, there's a fire lit, it's full of water, it's boiling. So what you want to do here is, if you want to make Mutandis, you've got to have this cauldron set up, and that you saw how we did that in the last episode, and then you just light a fire underneath, you fill it up with 3 buckets of water, it's fairly simple. And then you want to start your gardening, because you need your mandrake root, as you will see I throw it in right now. Oh my, look at that, it's purple now. It's got sparks flying out. And then you want your exhale of the horned one to go in there. And then finally you want your egg to go in. I don't know if you actually have to do it in that order, but then you get all these different colored sparks coming out. And you're going to get, give it a minute, Mutandis. There you go. And then obviously you just want to fill it back up afterwards. I've got an infinite water source right there, just for convenience. It's too much of a pain to run to my farm 3 or 4 times every time I did Mutandis, which was a lot. I spent like an hour making Mutandis earlier. It was ridiculous. Anyway, so I've got my herbology book, I've got my Mutandis, but we're not going to start messing around with Mutandis just yet. There's 2 other things I want to make. Oop, it's getting dark out. But we're not going to get started with the Mutandis just yet. I have 2 other things I want to make, and there's a little story behind why I decided to make these, because they weren't originally on the list of things I wanted to do. Though I should have guessed they were in this mod pack. Hang on, I'm just going to... I think I mentioned in the first episode that everyone is opt on the server. I crashed the server earlier, or I was on the server and it crashed. I tweeted about it on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter. The link's in the description of all my videos. Anyway, so I came on the server one day, and I'm just up in my little beginning hut. And it's not a very big hut. And I hear this growling noise, and I'm like, what is with that growling noise? And suddenly I recognize that growling noise. It's the sound of a werewolf from the witchery mod. Like the mob, not a player that's been turned into a werewolf. It's a mob as well. And I was like, oh my god. Alright, like what the heck, and I turn on my mini-map, like this, if I press J. Oh my god, it's taking forever to load. Anyway, and so I opened this up, if it'll load, and I turned hostile mobs on, so I can see them on here. Oh, it's loading, it's loading. And I turned show mobs on. I don't know if it's going to show any right now, because it is daytime, and I didn't really let it have nighttime. But I turned it on, and right next to my little beginning hut, right to the left of it, was a werewolf. And I'm like, yep, I was right, it's a werewolf. And so I get really scared, because werewolves are really tough, and all I've got is this iron sword, and I lag really badly when I'm fighting monsters of any kind, even mandrakes. Mandrakes are horrid, especially since they're so fast. And then they give you nausea effects. Anyway, I hate mandrakes. I went into creative mode, and I flew out, and there's this big square of dirt. Like a 5x5, maybe 5 tall, 5 deep kind of square of dirt, right on the opposite side of the wall from my bed. So it's been set there, not to kill me, but just so that I can't go to sleep without killing it. And so I went and I spawn in a diamond sword and I start trying to kill it, and it takes forever to kill it. Every hit does maybe half a heart of damage, because these werewolves are just so heavily armored. And I'm like, well, what can I do to do better against a werewolf? I had to press 7 there, but there are some things we can do that will make it a bit easier. And for that, we're going to need a stick. We're going to need 2 gold ingots. We're going to need 2 silver ingots. And then while I was at, I went, well, you know, vampires are a bit of a threat too. So I decided to gather up my garlic and some other sticks, and we're going to make a silver sword, and we're also going to make a 3 steaks. Not like eating steaks, unfortunately. So what we first want to do is we want to craft a gold sword. See? Right there. Gold sword. Oh. Wow. Okay then. And then what you then want to do is you want to use that gold sword as the base, as a handle, and you get this silver sword, 2 times unblockable damage against werewolves. So while it's still not the most impressive sword, it's big help against werewolves. So I'll probably just keep that in my backpack that Fairy Godram gave to me. And yeah, and then from here you need a stick surrounded by garlic, as you probably saw in the chest. I had it set up in a crafting recipe like I did with the brewing book. And we get wooden stakes. I don't know if they're like a one-time use or not, that's why I'm 3. But yeah, those will be useful. And then finally, the last thing we want to do today is we want to test out Mutandis, and this could take a while. So just for the example, I've got some extra flowers here. I have a bunch saved up for when I make my altar, because that needs nature to power it. And I've got a ton of Mutandis. That's why I spent like an hour making Mutandis. I'm not going to do all this on camera, it's just going to take forever to do it. I haven't tried using Mutandis yet, so I'm just going to go over here with it and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to plant some poppies down. We'll do saplings last. That's probably going to be some of the off-camera stuff. I'm probably just going to chop this up so when I get new stuff, I can look at it. But I'm just going to start by showing off how it does it to flowers. You can do it to just about any kind of small plant, so I could do it to like the grass outside the compound, because like I kind of like mowed the lawn in here. I just spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, just like cutting, like punching down all this grass. It took forever. Alright now, Mutandis time. Do 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 Mutandis. I don't know what I'm singing. Send help. So I do believe we just right click the plant with Mutandis. Okay, we got a birch sapling. Not terribly useful. Alder sapling. Okay, we want that. Because alder saplings are very important. They're one of the plants we need for witchery. Wow, I think it uses 2 Mutandis every time. That's interesting. Let's see. Okay, now that time it used was Spanish moss. I know that one can be really hard to get. Oh shoot, I need shears. I should have iron over by the smeltery. To the smeltery! And beyond! No, just to the smeltery. And then we're doing a U-turn, because Mutandis time. So let's just break that into ingots. I'm just imagining Minecraft characters everywhere. They just sit down with a square meter of iron on their laps. Like, yep, no problem. And then they just start poking it, and it falls apart into 9 perfectly equal ingots. And then they just take 2 of those ingots and they just start smashing them together and they get a nice, useful pair of shears. How does that work? Alright, now it's daytime and I have some shears. I'm going to go collect that Spanish moss. Alright then, so far we've got an alder sapling and Spanish moss. Not bad. Jungle sapling. That's actually something useful. So I'm just going to pick that up because you need jungle saplings to burn, to get some other kind of thing from the oven. I know that. And also, just having a variety of plants will be nice. I need jungle trees to grow cocoa beans on. I don't know if I need those for witchcraft, but I mean, why not? I mean, chocolate is amazing. Yet we only need 1 jungle sapling. Though jungle saplings are rare drops, so I'm going to take it again. Another alder sapling. Awesome. I wonder if these are like really common ones to get that I'm getting right now. Just want to keep recording until I can get all these different kinds of plants, because I mean, like, we need a hawthorn tree. We've got Spanish moss, but I mean, there's ember moss, there's glintweed, there's all kinds of plants. Like, I think there's 19 different plants listed in the herbology book. So yeah, there are a lot. A rowan sapling, that's another plant we need. I wonder if saplings are rarer drops from these two, because they said you need about a stack of Mutandis to get started. And that seems like a lot to me. Like, it took me forever to make this much Mutandis. Another Spanish moss is a nice idea. Because instead of having a specific spot for growing Spanish moss, I want to cover the front of my little witchy cave with it. If my character will turn around. Come on, Cyan. Come on. I want to cover my cave with it over there. Whoop, swung too far. Help. Over there. I'm going to cover that with it, and then when I need some, I can just go snip some off the bottom and it can regrow again. Let's see what it is this time. Ember moss. If I remember correctly, this sets you on fire when you walk over it, so this is great. So I can just set mobs on fire with that. I can make traps with that. It's a brilliant thing. Oh god, I feel like it's gonna glitch and set me on fire. It's there, but it's dropped and I can't break it. So yeah, we got ember moss, we got rowan saplings, we got jungle saplings, we got Spanish moss, we got Stake's silver sword, our brewing book, alder saplings. It's just kind of this kind of stuff, right? And I'm not gonna make you sit through all next 20 saplings or so, and then when I go use it on grass as well and everything. I think this will be the last one, and then I can just show you guys what I get in the next episode. By the way, in the next episode, I have notes here, this little notepad. I'm thinking next episode, this will have to be after I go to the Nether, because I haven't gone yet. But I know I have the obsidian to build a portal, I know where I'm going to build a portal. And so once I go there and I get the stuff I need, I want to make the book about circle magic. I want to make my witchery circle, I want to make an Orthona. And I might check out the walled village that I pointed out on the map in the first episode. Acacia sapling. I don't know if I need those for anything, but I'm not going to take the chance. I'm not even a big fan of acacia wood or leaves. I think it's kind of ugly, to be honest. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Well guys, that was another episode here on The Playground with me, CyanRose. We got a lot done today. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. You're awesome, and see ya, peeps!